But show business can be complicated, and it really doesn't help when there's people committing hate crimes against you. And that was what happened with Jussie Smollett.
That's right.
Poor
Smollett.
Jussie. Whatever it is.
Somebody sent him that. Is it Jussie or Jesse?
It's Jesse, spelled with a U.
Stupid U.
Right. It's Jesse, spelled with a U. And then kept saying Smollett, but then people were saying Smollett. But I think it would be pronounced Smollett. But there's
those
two
are my
T's.
balls. It's Smollett. I don't know how to spell his dumb name or how to say it.
But so, when we last left you, the Jussie Smollett case was out there. Of course, he's the actor from Entourage. He said that he got jumped by a couple.
No, he's in Empire.
Empire. Entourage.
So stupid.
Yeah, you're right. That was so crazy of me. Who would ever make that type of mistake?
That was a terrible one. You got the race of all of them wrong.
That's right. I'll never live that down.
Put him on a white show.
But he's on. Travis was like, wait, what show did you just say?
But it didn't click with me at first. I was like, yep, Entourage.
Exactly.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just.
I thought maybe he was on Entourage and I didn't know it.
No, he was. It's Empire is the show. He's on Empire. He's a gay black actor who is playing a gay
Allegedly.
black character. No, he says it.
I mean, I know he's gay, but black.
Allegedly. You're right.
Yeah, I don't make racial distinctions.
That's actually.
I should ask him who he identifies as.
That's actually quite woke of you, Jim. I'm glad that you're here to
appreciate that
to do that. But of course, he gets attacked.
Mm-hmm.
Says they put a noose around his neck.
Wearing it 45 minutes later.
He left it on. They poured bleach on him or a chemical that they think is probably bleach. And they said, this is MAGA country.
What is the purpose of the bleach?
I think it's they want you to whiten
you up.
Yeah, to whiten you up. It's a hate crime.
It's so over the top, and it was like a fuck. It was almost like
racists
a play.
know no bounds, Jim.
It was almost like a play. The way I equate, I don't know if I said this on the air or not, but this was so over the top. It seemed fake from the beginning. MAGA country. It's almost like did I say this on the air? It was almost like claiming a black guy beat you up, and then saying he was hitting me, and he just kept saying, "I'm a rapper. I'm a rapper."
Yeah.
It was just like such a stereotypical, over-the-top bullshit thing. Like, I don't think a real racist would do that in Chicago with the noose and the bleach and MAGA cunt. We get it.
Especially when he said, you're the F-word, N-word from Empire, right? This is MAGA country.
Bringing it home.
Yeah, they don't... What? How would they know you're from Empire? They've been following you around. Now, also, a week before this, a letter with a magazine print, when they cut out letters from magazines, was sent with an unidentified white powder to Jussie Smollett on the set of Empire.
Hoping for a little attention, maybe.
It turned out that it was like aspirin or something like that.
Maybe someone needs a little attention. They're not getting enough attention as an actor.
And maybe the letter wasn't quite enough attention. It didn't become a national story.
That's what they're saying, is that they didn't first of all, if someone sends you a letter like that, who gives a fuck? There's creeps out there. Everyone knows that there are fucking racists or homophobes or piece of shit people who will anonymously send you letters. It's been happening forever.
Right.
It's literally...
before Twitter, that's the only way trolls had.
That's exactly. That guy was basically just a troll.
Yeah.
Well, how much attention did you need from the letter?
He was an old school Twitter user. That's all. And so then, midweek, last week, Twitter starts to go crazy because some news source in Chicago has said that the police are now investigating this as a phony, fake crime, and Jussie Smollett is a suspect, and blah, blah, blah. The police come out and they go, no, that's not confirmed. There are inaccuracies. They say that Jussie Smollett was worried that he was going to get thrown off of Empire, that his character was going to be written off, so he faked this thing. The police say that's not confirmed. That's not confirmed. That's not confirmed.
And Empire said they weren't writing him off.
Empire said we're not writing him off. About a day and a half later, police come out and go, okay, no. That thing where Jussie Smollett was faking this, yeah, we think he's faking
They
this.
knew all along. They were just being really smart about it and doing it a certain way. Like, we know that there's a million video cameras. We know that this story sounds like nonsense. We will figure out what's going on.
Because they couldn't find any videos of Jussie getting attacked. And then they found these guys. So the story...
By the way, who said it was white guys? Like, cause I heard the press say that, but did he say that, or you just said the assailants had on...
I think, from what I've read...
Maybe it was implied, but I don't know if he said that.
I think it was implied, because he did say the MAGA thing. He didn't say it at first. He said it in the second interview.
Okay.
He said that they said this is MAGA country in follow-up conversations with police, not in the first conversation. But then he also said he was on the phone with his manager, and then they couldn't find the phone records of the conversation with his manager.
And then he gave them PDF. Well, he wouldn't give the phone over.
No.
Then he gave the PDF files, but they said that certain things were redacted, and that's not good enough. They actually need the phone for a criminal investigation.
So the police came out. And I mean, this chief of police, I think he's doing GMA this morning. And I don't know how GMA gets all these interviews, but they are just lapping the Today Show on everything. GMA gets every interview.
They do.
But
they got Jussie.
I know. And now
which, by the way, helped the cops' case.
How?
Because they had already identified the brothers in that surveillance video. But they hadn't told anybody that. And then when Jussie goes on GMA and says there's no doubt in my mind that those are the two people,
okay.
Well, he just identified the people that they already knew.
Now here's the issue.
Oh, okay.
So the cop said that they actually he helped them with their case.
He could have just said, I don't know.
Yep.
So the cops come out, the police chief, he does this amazing press conference where he just completely bashes Jussie and says like he's using racial tension to try to further his own career. He's doing this, he's doing that. We have a little bit of it. Let's listen. This is the Chicago police superintendent.
Was he complimentary of Jussie?
In this clip, he unfortunately for Jussie was less than complimentary.
You, not only as the superintendent of the Chicago Police Department, but also as a black man who spent his entire life living in the city of Chicago.
Uh-oh.
I know the racial divide that exists here. I know how hard it's been for our city and our nation to come together. And I also know the disparities, and I know the history.
Uh-oh.
This announcement today recognizes that Empire actor Jussie Smollett took advantage of the pain and anger of racism to promote his career.
Oh, shit.
Oof.
Shit. That's the last thing you want. The superintendent of police, that's even bigger than the chief.
This guy is not pleased.
He's pissed.
That was time wasted with this nonsense.
Yeah. Especially with the racial implications that were added onto it. He doesn't like to see that shit get thrown around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's what people do.
Like some fucking actor.
Exactly. A guy taking advantage of this.
Just trying to make his career a little better.
Right. And the next time, you know, all like if people want to go, oh, they're just using the race card. They're using the race card. You want to be able to say, that's not happening. This is really, there are terrible hate crimes happening and this and that. But then you have a high profile case like this.
Is he the superintendent or the chief?
He said he introduced himself as the superintendent.
Okay.
Maybe he's both.
Okay.
In my head and asking why. Why would anyone, especially an African-American man, use the symbolism of a noose to make false accusations? How could someone look at the hatred and suffering associated with that symbol and see an opportunity to manipulate that symbol to further his own public profile?
Shit.
How can an individual...
He's watching this like, oh, God damn it.
This guy's really giving it to him good.
Oh, no.
No one's going to have sympathy for him.
How could you?
Yeah, well, he's thinking people...
You know, there are some people having... You know, there actually are. There are people I saw when this case was breaking, one of the big things people were going like, whoa, why do you think he should have jail time? Ryan Lochte didn't get jail time. Well, you know, he's just lost. Ryan Lochte, number one... was in a different country.
He also didn't make it wasn't a whole police investigation. I mean,
it wasn't a different country. Like, if he had done that here, he would have...
Filing a false report like that?
Of course. And he also wasn't, playing on racial tensions that already exist. You know what I mean? He wasn't playing on this MAGA thing, which is a huge element to this whole thing. That Jussie is using this sort of racial tension that exists in this country to his benefit. That's a horrible thing to do.
Yeah.
You know?
Let's hear more of this guy. I love this guy.
Isn't he great?
He's great.
He's just fed up with it.
Yeah.
Like, and this is why. This is why he corrected those media reports at first and then came back and said that he agreed with them, because he wanted to make sure all of his ducks were in a row.
Yeah, he wanted
He didn't want to come out and say, we think that maybe something else may have happened. He wanted to come out and say, here's what this little asshole is wasting all of our time.
A black police chief doesn't want to come out and question a black guy who had a noose around his neck until he knows it's bullshit and he can prove it's bullshit.
And this guy, you look into his eyes, he's not blinking.
No.
There is not a doubt.
No, he knows. And he's known.
He has.
By the city of Chicago, turn around and slap everyone in this city in the face by making these false claims. Bogus police reports cause real harm. They do harm to every legitimate victim who's in need of support by police and investigators, as well as the citizens of this city. Chicago hosts one of the largest pride parades in the world, and we're proud of that as a police department and also as a city. We do not, nor will we ever tolerate hate in our city, whether that hate is based on an individual's sexual orientation, race, or anything else.
I love that. This is exactly what you have to do. Like, this person, I know that, you know, people who want to fight for the rights of minorities, whether it be gay people or black people or any other minority, you want to side with the minority, right? Of course. But sometimes they're working against you. Like, sometimes you have to come out and go, like, here's what's going on. There should be no sympathy for this guy. There is sympathy. There are, I mean, it's way less than it was, but there are still people that are sympathetic to this guy, and it's like he's working against you.
And he's just being a cunt.
By the way,
he's just being a cunt who needs some attention and decided to do this. It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
It's humiliating. And by the way, they said he wrote a check to the brothers for $3,500. And they said that was for training. And now I'm hearing he might have proof that this was not for, because on the check he wrote like the name of the video he was going to do.
Here's what happened. They said that he sent them, the police said that he gave the brothers a check for the $3,500. And then he said, because the memo puts down it's for training and for this music video. And these guys are trainers.
And one of them was, I believe, a trainer that had trained him before.
He's trained him before, that this check was clearly for training and not that. And
but of course they're going to put that. Like, what's he going to put on it? For assault? He's doing that to, like, cover. See, guys?
Fake racial attack, I think, is what the original memo said. He crossed it off.
That's his idea. That's him thinking he's covering his bases.
Of course.
That's him thinking, like, oh, well, now even if they do question it, I am technically training.
Here's what they haven't addressed. He goes like, well, that check was not for any attack. Nobody can answer why these two guys, who were his trainers that he did pay to train them, why do we have a photo of them buying ski masks and a noose and everything that they needed for the crime?
There's no reason for them to attack him. Like, if
they did it.
I'm not he could say, well, they attacked me and I didn't know they were going to attack me.
Why would they do that?
There's absolutely no reason for that.
It doesn't make sense.
They know he would know their voice.
Of course. Why would you? Plus, it's not like he's a young guy. He's 35 or whatever he is. He might need to have training in the future. This $3,500 is not one and done.
There's no need to do it.
You would want to keep him healthy so that you could train him again, no? Wouldn't there be more money in that than just doing a hate crime for no apparent reason?
I just don't believe it. Let me hear a little more of the police chief, who I love.
Okay.
You would not want anybody making this speech about you.
Oh, like, no. No.
So I'm offended by what's happened, and I'm also angry. I love the city of Chicago and the Chicago Police Department, warts and all.
Is it better for you when it seems like you've personally insulted the police chief?
No, it's not. The black police chief? No, it's not.
It's not? You're not just...
You're not winning by doing that.
So you think that it would be maybe a little better if he were just going by the book, but now he's actually got his personal feelings involved.
Oh, he went so over the top.
It was so over the top.
The bleach, the noose, the MAGA. I'm so fucking tired of people blaming Trump for the country being divided. You fucking naive idiots. You can hate Trump. Fine, hate him. Fuck him. Do people forget that Malcolm X and Kennedy's and Martin Luther King was shot? What do you think, America wasn't divided then, stupid assholes? God almighty, this fucking whinging about Trump. It's his fault. Maybe you could say he doesn't make things better or he says things that are divisive, sure.
Divisive is what you...
No, I don't like the word divisive.
Oh, okay,
it'll be ISSIV.
Oh.
However, if it was to blame Trump for fucking dividing the country, just shut the fuck up. The country was divided long before he showed up.
Well, there's also this thing where I don't mind the idea that the country's divided.
We are divided.
But what I do mind, one side can't make it divided. Like this idea that the craziness, Trump has craziness on one side, right? And the idea that the craziness on the other side is also Trump's fault. Like, no, you don't have to respond to craziness with craziness. If you think that what Trump is doing is so bad, you shouldn't be as extreme on the other side because you're doing the same thing.
Just acting like it's his fault that we're divided. It's like, meanwhile, the Republicans were divided because they hate his guts. Mm. He was bashing Ted Cruz. The Democrats are divided because Hillary and Bernie couldn't stand each other. They fucked Bernie. The whole country is split into 50 different directions, but everyone's going, it's him because of his stupid red MAGA hats.
Right.
Shut up.
Get a hold of yourself.
Fucking stop trying to blame one guy because all of us are cunts.
You know, it's really going to shock people when Trump leaves office and nothing changes.
Yeah, no, and we're the same divided country.
Nothing changes.
Well, for the next 8 years, they'll blame him.
Right. Or the next 6 or whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever. Exactly.
Right,
No, but I mean even after. I mean the next administration.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
It's because
totally.
of Trump's snowball. All right, one more minute of this guy. I can't. I'm not going to watch 5.5 minutes of him, but I am enjoying him greatly.
But this publicity stunt was a scar that Chicago didn't earn and certainly didn't deserve. To make things worse, the accusations within this phony attack received national attention for weeks. Celebrities, news commentators, and even presidential candidates weighed in on something that was choreographed by an actor.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yuck.
First, Smollett attempted to gain attention by sending a false letter that relied on racial...
He really did.
They must know that's him, too.
Oh, yeah.
Because they are for the police chief to say this, he must know it.
He's not saying he may have sent a letter. He's saying Smollett sent the letter himself. The letter that started everything, he's saying Smollett sent the letter himself. Yeah. You think it's bad when they're he's depersonalizing him? Meaning instead of saying the victim or the suspect or whatever, he's calling him an actor? This was all done by an actor.
By an actor.
You're taking the personality completely away from him.
Yeah.
Homophobic and political language. When that didn't work, Smollett paid $3,500 to stage this attack and drag Chicago's reputation through the mud in the process.
He doesn't believe the Jim thing.
No, I'm surprised that doesn't hold water with the police chief.
The police chief doesn't believe the training fees.
No, they must have. I want to know what those two guys said to the police, but they're probably like, we're not going down for this fucking B actor shithead.
I'm sure they sang like birds.
Yeah.
And good for them. What? Oh, we're worried. Jussie Smollett said that snitches get stitches. Uh-oh.
And by the way, Empire kicked him off the last 2 episodes.
Well, they said they're going to let the legal process play itself out. However, he will not be featured on the final 2 episodes of the season.
And Terrence Howard's sticking up for him, I don't mind, because that's his friend. He's like, I love the guy. Like,
I'm sure they're family. Like, they're like family.
If one of your friends did something like this, you might not like it, but you wouldn't kill him publicly because he's your friend. Like, you might. It's hard if you love the guy.
Of course. I'm sure that. I mean, I would imagine that most of the people on the Empire set probably have a difficult time believing that Jussie Smollett would do anything as stupid as this.
Especially since he went there and begged them to believe him. A lot of them said they were annoyed.
I mean,
it was insulting.
Dude, a lot of people. Do you remember what Instagram looked like the day this happened? A lot of people posting photos of him, posting well wishes. He got a lot of people on the hook.
So much attention.
A lot of attention. A lot of people look foolish. I know Nancy Pelosi deleted her tweet.
I don't think you look foolish if you were showing the guy support, though. Like, just, hey, look, he came out and said he got beaten up, and you're going, hey, I hope you're okay, and that sucks. I'm sorry to hear it.
You feel like you were made out to be a sucker by this guy, though.
Yeah, because you're assuming that he was telling the truth. But I think the fact that people didn't see through that there was something wrong with the whole MAGA thing. If someone just dropped an N-bomb on him and punched him in the face, he got beat up by two guys. That's a much more believable story. Two drunk guys beat the shit out of me and said some racist stuff is a very sympathetic thing to have happen, and it's much more believable than the fact that he got a hate letter, cut out of a fucking magazine targeted by two black Trump fans. I mean, just shut up.
This is why it's so tough, because on one end, you've got the Me Too movement, which part of it is centered around this idea that even when women were coming forward with accusations that were 100% true, they weren't being believed. So now we're getting into this place where you go, okay, you've got to take accusations seriously, and you kind of have to believe all these accusations, even though something like this comes in and you can smell the fishiness from a mile away.
Well, and there's a whole thing, believe all women. No. You don't believe anyone based on, and you don't victim shame, but you have to establish that any person who's claiming to be a victim is a victim because there's a perpetrator. So you have to make sure that the perpetrator is not getting fucking dragged through the fucking coals when he's not actually a perpetrator.
Yeah.
Just make sure someone's a victim. Once you know someone's a victim, fine. But you're not wrong by trying to establish that someone is a victim.
Right. Right. We don't want to have to pull Kim Kardashian into the White House so she can get you out of jail because you didn't do anything. You know what I mean? Like, we actually have to let things play out sometimes. Now, there are plenty of cases where there is so much evidence where you go, okay, clearly something happened here. When you got guys like Bill Cosby, Harvey Weinstein, Bryan Singer, you're like, clearly this is not some grand conspiracy.
Well, Bryan Singer hasn't been convicted of anything.
No, but you go, okay.
It doesn't look good.
I tend to believe.
Was he at the Oscars?
The accusers here. Not only was Bryan Singer not at the Oscars, but no mention of him. His movie Bohemian Rhapsody was nominated for literally every award except Best Director. And when the actor from the movie won Best Actor award, no mention of the director. Although they did win Best Editing as well because they had to edit around the fact that they threw Bryan Singer off the movie before.
Didn't the editing stink in that? Choppy?
Yeah, but I was talking to Travis before the show, and his theory, and I think he's probably right, was that even though the clips that we saw were terrible, that they didn't have a finished movie when they lost their director. So they just had to kind of take this footage and pile it together. They had to make a movie.
Oh, get somebody else to do the final few scenes of your second unit. I mean, you don't need a director to fucking to the last 2 weeks or whatever. Come on. No, that was just shitty editing. The clip we saw stunk. The editor, that's not just there's no director. That's just a choppy editor.
Yeah. Look, I mean, I think that's why they
Travis
gave them
is a bum.
I don't think that's why
He's telling you what other people say. Sam loved the movie.
No, I hated the movie.
Oh.
I thought it was so stupid, and it tricked everybody.
Interesting.
It's this year's Crash.
Crash was a great movie.
I was just thinking that.
We'll debate Crash anytime you want. I'm happy to debate Crash.
I prefer not to.
All right.
But what I love about this is that Jussie's not done. Jussie has not admitted this. This story is going to continue. He can't let it go. He's still saying he's innocent, and he's still saying law enforcement is railroading
And
him.
by the way, people who are saying I'm really sad that this happened, it's so funny they're saying I'm happy, I'm bummed he didn't get beat up. I would rather he got beat up than lied, is what people are saying. But I get why they're saying that, but that is kind of, when you're saying like, this is terrible, you're saying, I wish he had gotten beaten up instead of lied.
I mean, this whole thing is, it's really very, very good for Trump supporters.
Well, yeah, because it's just it's a bullshit thing, and it's corny. It's so corny and predictable to blame the MAGA hat. By the way, that fucking teenager suing for $250 million. I don't know if he'll get a dime, but I love the fact that the media who vilified this 16-year-old instead of the black Israelites are fucking getting kicked in the dick a little bit.
Yeah, that's
good.
MAGA hat kid. Who was, he was looking at
because he smirked inappropriately.
Right, he was looking at the Native American, and it got everybody all in a tizzy for a weekend. Yeah, he's now suing the Washington Post. I'm sorry, the Amazon Washington Post.
By the way, if these were all black students and that was a white guy taunting them, the press would have painted it differently. The restraint these students showed, all they did was smirk back at this aggressive older gentleman.
He's suing the MAGA kid and his family, obviously, are suing the Washington Post for $250 million.
$350 now. I've heard $250. I just
They
said
move it up to
$350.
$350?
I hope so.
My God, for falsely accusing him of racist acts. Yeah, man, you got to be careful. I mean, we live in such, and I don't think we're even going to learn, because that's a great lesson from this Jussie Smollett thing, that we're so quick. We read a headline or, the first 2 sentences of a paragraph or whatever it is, and we just go, oh, hate crime? Oh, racist kid? Oh,
right.
MAGA hat? Oh, whatever. And everybody's so quick to jump on Twitter. And what people don't want to acknowledge is the media is acting similarly. The media is going, look how quick social media is getting everything. We need to get our stories out quick. We don't have time to fact check everything.
Right.
We need to get our stories out right now. And so the Washington Post ends up in situations like this. But they're also blaming that on Trump. They're not sitting there going, we as the media have completely fucked up.
Right.
We have lost journalistic credibility regardless of Trump. What Trump saying fake news, that would not hold water with his audience.
No.
If he wasn't playing on something that they were already thinking. He didn't implant that idea in their head.
Right.
It was what we were thinking already.
It's one of the reasons people took to him, is because everyone thought the media stinks. They're kind of giving it one way, and they have their opinions, and they're editing stuff. Yeah. So you hope that everybody that tweeted out these photos and thoughts about Jussie Smollett would sit there the next time and go, you know what? I'm going to read this whole police report before I get into exactly what my thoughts are. But they won't. By the way,
tell me.
Who's doing the phone screening?
It'd be good old intern Reed.
Are you talking about line
Number
6?
Hang on, let me see what that says.
I noticed it right away.
Okay.
Could you, can I talk to Reed for a sec?
Yeah.
Go over here.
Just a quick sec.
Yeah, just a second.
Quick sexy.
Yeah, we want to talk about a noose ratchet.
Yeah. Reed Ski.
Hey, buddy. He's putting his little thing on.
How old are you, bud?
22.
22. Are you? Have you graduated from college yet?
Not yet.
But
Spell moose.
You're
Moose.
Oh,
okay, cool.
You're about to be a college graduate.
Yeah, no, I've had a very bad ability to spell.
Spell booze. Like the drink, the liquor. Spell booze.
B-O... Is it 2 O's in it?
Maybe.
Z-E?
You don't have to sound it out. Z.
Rarudo?
No, just
What did I misspell?
Well,
nothing.
how about
I'm
this?
just curious.
Spell booze like the sounds that Jim Norton hears at a comedy show.
Cheers. See?
Nailed it.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I'm not the greatest speller. I apologize.
Okay, spell spell losses.
What are we doing?
Just
I'm
asking
asking you questions. Losses.
L-O-S-S-E-S?
Yeah.
Okay, how about noose?
Oh, that's what I did.
No.
No.
How do you spell it?
Yeah.
N-O-O-S-E?
Okay, cool.
That's weird because that's not.
No, that's not what's here.
Oh, maybe Scott in Philly wants to talk about a noose.
Yeah, news.
Muse?
Yeah, I was trying to type out the accent. That's what it was. No.
N-U-S-E. He spelled it N-U-S-E.
I love that. That's such a great reaction when you realize your joke is dying and you go like this. No.
Well, Jim just looked at me so genuinely confused. I was like, oh,
No.
messed up on this one.
I was trying to type out the accent. No.
No.
No, like you could just take back what you said if you just scream no.
I apologize, guys. I'm going to Google the words before I type in there.
No, that's good work, buddy.
I appreciate it.
That's good work.
You guys are going to make Reed second guess himself now. He's doing such a good
Well,
job.
if you spell noose, N-U-S-E, you should be second guessing yourself.
Oh, come on.
And loses
What do you mean?
losses.
Okay, listen, Troy, you're about as good at spelling as you are at math, you know?
Terrible.
But you're not a college graduate, are you?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, that's okay then. Did you graduate high school?
Yeah, graduated high school.
No, that's a shock.
I mean, by the skin of my teeth.
Did you go to college?
No, I went to audio school.
See, that's my guy. Now you know how to do audio. Now, you did go to a couple high schools because you had to leave one, right?
I got expelled.
And was that because you...
Made a duty in your pants?
I maced a kid because he was picking on me.
And then?
I shit my pants.
How?
I didn't get expelled for shitting my pants, though.
But in what circumstance did you shit your pants?
I punched him so hard, I shit my pants.
I see. Okay, I just wanted to make sure we were all clear and on the record. You know I like to put it on the table.
Of course.
Okay. Let's go to Mike in Florida. What's up, Mike?
Hey, Jim kind of said it earlier, like the correlation between the Covington Catholic kid. Like, Roseanne Barr sent out a tweet. An hour later, she was fired, disavowed from Hollywood, and never heard from again. Everybody now Fox is now going, well, let's just see what happens. This guy incited, like, the mob mentality, faked a hate crime, tied up probably hundreds of thousands of dollars of police money.
That's right.
And the hardcore stance by Fox is, well, let's just see what's going to happen.
Well, I mean, Fox has to say, let's see. First of all, they have taken him off the show. So he's not on Empire for the rest of the season.
And they had to see it play out a little bit.
But this has to get played out, and I'll tell you why, because Roseanne's not going to get arrested for a tweet. We know once the tweet goes out, the story's over.
Yeah, that's what it is.
But Fox is realizing this goes beyond Empire. This kid may do jail time.
Yeah,
because he's such a horse's ass.
I think the Roseanne, I think it's a bad comparison because one is you're able to react to, regardless of whether or not I agree with the reaction, immediately, and one you have to let a police investigation play out.
Well, I mean, I understand that, but every time the media does something like this, they put tens of thousands of more people in the pocket of Trump who see the one-way reaction to things and say, I don't really like Trump, but this fucking one-way journalism bullshit where white people are instantly the devil and black people or color or minorities, they get a pass.
You almost said colored people, dude.
People. I did say I would.
See, it does hurt. It does hurt your argument.
Yeah,
it does, Mike. It does hurt your argument a little bit when you accidentally say colored people.
Yeah,
I know, and I really fucked up on that one. That and the Orientals, I think they really get upset by Trump.
Yeah, no, that's a bummer. But I do appreciate the sentiment, Mike. Thanks, buddy.
Goodbye, Mike.
It is. You gotta watch your language sometimes in the arguments because certain little things start to seep through.
Sure they do.
But I can't wait to see where this Jussie Smollett case goes. It's just as entertaining as it possibly gets. It's hilarious to watch somebody. I don't know. For some reason, I love stories about liars. I love getting into the minds of people who just create these lives based on lies. Like, it's so foreign to me, but there are people who just lie on top of lie on top of lie, and it's as crazy as it gets. It's so interesting, though.
Yeah, I guess once you're in it. You ever see The Wire when he goes with the fighting a war? He goes, once you're in it, you're in it. Mm-hmm. That's kind of how it is with a lie. You're there. Yeah. You can't. That's why people pile them up, because they're trying to just pretend that lie didn't happen or explain it. And instead of the embarrassment of just going, all right, I lied. It's like when you get caught cheating. Eventually you're so quiet. You're like, all right, yes, I'm sorry. And then you can't get into the thing is, when you catch somebody cheating and you realize, okay, you were cheating. You don't want to get into the minutia of every single lie they told, because you've already got the big lie. Like, I know you were just doing it to cover this up. It's like finding out Ted Bundy was the serial rapist and going, so you weren't at the movies on Tuesday? I know. He was murdering a woman. So that's kind of how it is with this. Like, he's lying on top of lying on top of lying. I mean, when the police are saying he sent himself that note, they really must know it.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Because he could sue them otherwise. You could absolutely. I mean, if they're going on TV and saying you did this and he's saying I didn't, sue the cops then, if you're so sure. The movie that Melissa McCarthy got her Oscar nomination for, I forget what it's called, but I loved it because she plays a liar in it. It's just one of those stories about a person. Can You Ever Forgive Me, I think is the name of it. But she just plays this woman who just lies constantly. And while I never would want to have that in my life anywhere near it, it's the most infuriating thing you could imagine. To be able to watch somebody from the outside just collapse under a house of lies is as entertaining as it
is fun to watch.
Rob is pointing out that you just had that for a year and a half.
What?
Someone in your life who just constantly lies.
Yes. Yes, that's why I found it so interesting.
You did.
Like, oh my God, I could sit there and talk to a liar all day, especially when they get caught lying. And I'm going like, where did you think this was going to go? Like, I would love to just talk to Jussie Smollett. Say, what's the best case scenario here? Did you not think anybody was going to ask any questions? Why would you pour bleach all over yourself? What were you really thinking? And what's really interesting is 9 times out of 10, even after they're caught, they're going to lie about what they were really thinking. They're still lying, and you're looking at them going, oh my God, you haven't learned anything. You're still just making shit up.
Some
You're
people
lying.
are just so crazy and compulsive with it.
Yeah.
There's no reason for it.
There's not. It doesn't help anything.
If someone's covering something, they're fucking up, they're cheating, they're stealing, you get why they're doing it. Well, you're trying to cover up. But when it's just like, what'd you do? Dude, I had this fucking crazy thing happen. And it's like, no, you didn't.
Right. It's like the kid that you always knew those kids in school, 4th grade. They'd be sitting there and they'd be telling you this story. And you go, that didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
Like, oh no, I had this bike. I got the most expensive bike. I got the most expensive sneakers. Well, why aren't you wearing them? Oh, I don't wear them to school. Well, I went to your house. Why didn't I see him? Oh, my brother had him for the weekend. He was gone. But I'm like, you're lying. You never had the shoes at all. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
What the hell are you talking about?
Some people have this compulsion just to tell dumb stories.
I love it. I love it. And he's still saying, Jussie Smollett is still saying, I am innocent. I am totally innocent. And the cops have done me wrong. And you will see, I'm going to continue to present evidence. And I just can't wait to see this thing play out.
It's the definition Troy just looked up for pathological liar. Someone who lies pathologically for no personal gain. Like, there's no reason that you don't understand. You understand if a guy's stealing from the bank, what he's lying about. But if you're just lying about saying a vacation that you never went on, you're just an asshole.
Like, why are you doing that?
Why? It's not even a good story.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, oh, I was in Florida this week. Oh, what'd you do? Oh, nothing. And then you find out they weren't in Florida. And you're like, why did you say that? Why would you say that?
And how do you not feel like a dick saying that?
Yeah.
They realize it.
Isn't it weird that the first instinct is just to lie, just to say something? I was in Florida. What were you doing in Florida? I was seeing family.
But maybe it's like, because it says here it's like a personality disorder. So, like, say somebody's bipolar.
It's like a mental illness.
They can't help that they go down and then come back up.
So they just can't help lying.
Yeah, it just comes out. And then, we've known people that have been like this, and it's just one lie, and then it'll go to another lie, and it'll keep lying, and you're like, dude, no.
And you're just looking at them going, everybody in the room knows you're lying.
Everyone knows you're lying, and you're still doing it.
Why are you still lying? Let's go to KJ in Brooklyn. What's up, KJ?
Hello?
KJ, you there?
Hey, Jim and Sam.
Hello,
What's up,
sir.
bud?
Good evening.
Hey, Jim and Sam.
Hey, buddy.
man.
Hello?
Speak.
KJ.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, you're not
well,
talking.
then you should talk to us.
Yes. Your turn.
I'm sorry. I thought I heard the mute thing.
No,
yeah,
you're starstruck. I get it.
I am.
Yeah.
Actually, I ran in. Jim, I've known you forever. I used to perform in Washington Square Park, and I followed your career, and it's awesome, and I'm really happy for you, brother.
Thanks, KJ. Thank you.
Yeah.
Were you doing stand-up? Hold on. Were you doing stand-up in the park?
No, I was a singer, a performer.
Oh, okay. Because there's guys that do stand-up in the park, and I'm like, that's an amazing thing to me, just to gather a group of strangers around a fountain and tell jokes. I'm
Are
like,
they
those
good?
guys. Yeah, I mean, and they're loud.
All right. I was best friends with Charlie Barnett, who was the king of comedy. So.
Oh, you knew Charlie? Yeah, I didn't. I worked with him one time at Poor Billy's, which was a room Vinnie Brand booked before the Stress Factory, and I think it was around the time of the L.A. riots, if I remember correctly. He died of AIDS. He was a funny guy.
Yeah, Charlie was the best. Actually, Dave Chappelle used to come and sit there and just take notes. I mean, that's how I go back to Charlie in the '80s.
Yeah, he loved Charlie.
Yeah, he was the best. But just wanted to touch on, obviously what's going on. Just when you thought Chicago couldn't look any worse than it already does with its actual crimes, I mean, and now they take, and I guess to deflect, they throw Robert Kelly finally, R. Kelly under the bus for stuff he's
we'll
been
talk
doing
about that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been doing it for 20-something plus years, and now you know why they went after him? They went after him now. You know why? Because he doesn't sell any more records. He's broke, so now he's an easy target. I mean, I'm not defending the guy. Don't get me wrong.
Well,
Leland.
They went after him. Don't forget, dude, the system, all these people saying that no one cared because they were black girls, that's bullshit. They tried to put this guy on trial in 2002, and everything got pushed back. The system went after him and tried to get him put in prison. But people
they tried.
Well, KJ,
tried.
did you call in to talk about Jussie or R. Kelly?
Well, no, I wanted to talk about, the combination of that and just how the media is, cherry picking all this stuff. And it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, the Jussie thing, we all knew that was a joke from Jump Street. I mean, come on.
It seemed fishy. It seemed fishy.
the worst part about it is it's making Nigerian people look bad more than anything else, and that's the saddest thing because they keep calling them Nigerians, and it's like no, they're born and raised in Chicago, they're locals. So don't try to disassociate yourself. They're just another pair of knuckleheads from Chicago.
Okay, thank you, KJ.
Thank you very much. It is funny though, if they're Nigerian by birth, but they were born and raised in Chicago, who cares if they're Nigerian? That's not interesting. Like that's like saying, hey, two Italian guys. It's like just two guys from New York.
Here's why they're saying it. It's their way of saying
they're
non-white.
Really black.
Yeah,
really black.
Yes.
You're right.
Yes,
they're not. No, they're not black. They're really black
because it's and they will never admit it.
They're black squared. You can't be Nigerian as black squared.
That's right. That's right. They will never admit it, but it's the news's way.
That's right.
Of saying one end of the spectrum is MAGA. MAGA is as white as it gets. That's why they never. You're right. They never said that the attackers were white, but when they said this was MAGA country, what did we all think? As white as it gets. Nigerian is the other side of the coin, the other end of the spectrum. So that's how big of a liar he is. He went from MAGA attack to Nigerians that he paid for. I mean, you couldn't get more opposite, right?
You really can't. I mean, Nigerian is the antonym
of MAGA. That's why that Nigerian term is being brought up so many times.
Mo in Brooklyn raises a great question.
Let's go to...
And I want to address it.
Well, we got to go to Mo. What's up, Mo?
Okay, guys. Hey, great show. Just before I get to my point, why would you hire two Nigerians to be white guys?
Well, I don't know if he said white or if they just assumed white.
I don't know why you would hire two Nigerians to be MAGA guys.
Right.
So here's my question. We live in this gender-neutral world, and Hollywood's the first one to jump on board.
Right.
No sex, no first names, no man. You can't say man. But yet, when they accept these awards as actress and actor, I have a little bit of a problem with that. Because when I see one of these lovely young ladies on a talk show during the week, they're an actor. But when they're accepting the awards, they're actresses, supporting actresses. Let's limit the awards in half and shorten the show.
Yeah, they're not trying to...
Great point.
They're not trying to do away with one of their trophies.
Now, obviously, Lisa has to be next.
Let's go to Lisa in New Mexico.
Hello, Lisa.
Oh, God, Jim, you are the smartest fucking person on the radio.
Oh, come on.
I cannot wait for you to get back because I knew you were going to be spot on on what you had to say about this whole case.
Well, thanks, Lisa.
You should be on regular news. You should be, move over, Jake Tapper, Sean Hannity, Jim Norton should be reading the fucking news.
Thank you very much, Lisa.
News.
I appreciate that.
Awesome.
And I hope you're not being sarcastic.
It's a group dynamic.
No, I know. I love you.
Okay.
I mean, how many women call into your show that say they love you?
I would say one. She's from New Mexico. Thank you.
Yeah. A lot of...
Thank you, Lisa.
A lot of pronouns are a little exclusive.
Appreciate that very much.
Yeah. There is a...
Thank you.
There is a group dynamic.
Well, you know sometimes some people in the group are smarter.
No, I know, but I mean,
Thank you, Lisa, very much. Let me intelligently say, have a wonderful day.
Okay. Okay. It excludes a lot of people, also part of the conversation in the room.
What do you mean?
That was just...
It's nice.
Right. That had no correlation with the call before.
Oh, no, I just said, I
mean, you're just literally just pointing at phones.
I just saw that. I thought that was a good call to go to. I didn't know what she was going to say.
It said what she was going to say.
I didn't read it.
I think you did. You said clearly and obviously we have to go to Lisa next. I hope that this comes to light. The one case in the Jussie, the one spot in the Jussie case is that apparently he showed the Nigerian brothers where to attack him because there was a security camera there, and what he didn't realize was the security camera was turned around. So there was supposed to be video of the attack, and unfortunately it was turned around. I wonder if when he went on TV and said, I know it was those guys, if they were like, what the fuck? Like, we were supposed to be anonymous. You weren't supposed to rat us out. We're going to rat you out now, you know?
Yeah, I think so. I think that, how do they know? The police must have had, these guys must have really spilled the fucking beans. Yeah, he cut the article out too. Like, they must have given the cops definitive shit for him to go out there and just go, oh, by the way, he sent the letter to himself too, this fuck.
Yeah, I'm sure that they sang once they got there, especially when Jesse's doing interviews where he's calling them out. Yeah. And speaking of jail, Jussie Smollett.
Oh, that guy's good.
You like him?
How funny is Charles Barkley? Did you see the clip of Barkley?
I did. I watched it. It was funny.
Great.
It was funny. Yeah. I thought of that too, the Liam Neeson thing. They really are intertwined stories. It's the opposite.
He said he should have went to Liam Neeson's neighborhood. Everything would have gotten taken care of.
Yeah, Liam Neeson wishes he could have found Jussie Smollett.
That would have been perfect.
Perfect. Everybody gets what they're looking for.
I'm going to beat that black gay bastard. Beat him and throw bleach on that bastard.
The police chief was on GMA. They did get him, and he said multiple times.
Is the Today Show getting a lot of big interviews?
I don't know what the fuck the Today Show's doing, Jim. The Today Show is going around getting nothing. Every time I turn around, every news story, they're like, and the exclusive interview is going to happen on GMA. The Today Show's right down the street. Nobody's popping by Rockefeller Center. Travis, do you have any idea why the Today Show gets no interviews these days?
I have no idea, but GMA's killing it.
The last interview they got was MAGA Kid.
Oh, that didn't go well.
It didn't go well. They fucked up.
They did fuck up.
Wait, was that today?
No, that was a while ago.
Got that Rob Pop.
I love a good Rob Pop. Yeah.
Easiest pop.
That's right. It's also known as a lad pop.
That's
no,
right.
It's not. It's a delicious treat. Give me a Rob Pop. It's a teeny little white popsicle. Tastes like shit.
You think it's little?
Yeah, it's little.
Skinny and short?
Yeah, there's extra skin on the top of the pop.
Oh.
You're right. That was the Today Show. Yeah, that's the last thing. That's
it was
why
Savannah Guthrie.
That's why nobody wants to go on today.
Good, I don't blame them.
It didn't go well.
No.
They were on the wrong side of history, as it turns out. Yeah, the police chief. The GMA.
Boy, this guy is the shit, isn't he?
GMA gets the Jussie Smollett interview. Then they also get the police chief interview.
By the way, this guy is a police chief. He is he's a no-nonsense fucking guy. Like, he's not the guy you want gunning for you.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I'm sure a black police chief has had to go through certain struggles to get where he is. He's just a no-nonsense dude. And this case really fucking annoys him.
I watched the whole thing. And I was thinking, this guy is a good police chief. Like, he just seems like a great police officer.
What?
Are you getting distracted by the Nigerian guys with no shirt on?
No.
You seem distracted.
No.
Look.
Oh. And he's saying, let's watch a little of the police chief. And Jussie Smollett, by the way.
You got the YouTube. It's going to be a lot easier.
How come they are not crucifying him for saying one of the guys was white? Like, I mean, the press. I mean, the police are saying what it was. But, like, again, I'm not going to do, can you imagine? But he's just saying one of the guys white, and the press is totally glancing over that.
Yeah, because he said it. The police chief said in this interview that he said he could see through the mask that one of them was white.
White-skinned, yeah.
Yeah.
But the press is just not pouncing on him for that.
Well, they want to see how this plays out, Jim. Let's be fair.
Fucking cunts.
Let's be fair to everybody involved. We don't know exactly what's going on here, Jim. It's a total mystery.
I'm gonna make a zombie movie.
What's the zombie movie gonna be?
The world ends, and there's a couple of people that survive it. They got to fight through a world of zombies to get to a safe location. That's all I have.
It's really, really similar to The Walking Dead.
No, it's different.
Is it?
Yep.
How?
They get infected through popcorn.
Okay.
They all eat popcorn.
Troy, you can skip to 220 on this.
Sometimes when you think of something and you realize there's nothing funny on the horizon, that's what just happened.
Right.
I crossed over the mountain and I put my hand up to my eyes and I said, not a funny thing in sight.
But you're on the journey, right?
Oh.
You're not gonna quit the journey.
Climbing that mountain, I'm like, there's potential. Reach the peak.
And what's on the horizon?
I have been to the mountaintop.
And?
Nothing funny. Nothing.
Not a thing.
No.
No.
Bland, boring statements for miles.
Let's listen to the police chief yesterday on GMA.
Oh, now.
Eva, thank you. The superintendent of the Chicago Police Department, Eddie Johnson, joins us now live. Sir, thank you very much for taking the time.
Didn't she have cancer?
To be with us here this morning. We know it's been a very emotional, very tense few weeks. And initially, all accounts from police, you were treating Jussie Smollett as the victim. When did it turn from being a possible hate crime to a possible hoax?
So let me just put this out there first and foremost, that right now he still has the presumption of innocence. until he has his day in court. So what happened, when at the very beginning when he explained and gave his version.
I love that he did that because he wasn't doing that in the press conference, but now he's saying that, and he makes that statement multiple times in the interview. He goes, until he has his day in court, he's presumed to be innocent. Here's exactly what Jussie Smollett did. And then he still goes into, here's what happened.
He's doing that too also because this way his lawyer can't claim that they can't get an impartial jury. Plus, he's probably just as a cop, he's trained to say that as a police chief who speaks publicly. But it's also so the jury, they can't get the jury pool. The police were saying he was guilty before the trial.
Right.
This guy continually says he's innocent till proven guilty,
But here's what happened.
Yeah, but here's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
I dropped my little thing, guys. Keep talking.
Okay. You can play the thing.
He described it to us, and we treated it like a hate crime. One of the things that I think is important to recognize is although the two attackers were masked, he was able to say he could see around their eyes that they were white-skinned.
Oh, boy.
Or at least the one guy was a white-skinned person. So that's how we approached it. The entire time that we investigated the incident, he was treated like a victim. As you know, we picked up the two individuals after we identified who they were. We were waiting for them at O'Hare Airport when they came back from
actually, to be fair to Jussie Smollett, those guys look white.
They do.
Yeah, from a certain angle.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so he probably just got a little confused.
We took them in and started talking to them. Now, we were legally able to hold them for 48 hours, and I refused to let CPD characterize him as a suspect unless we had concrete evidence. The 47th hour that we had those two individuals in custody is when it changed.
What changed in that 47th hour?
So we had gathered up a lot of evidence and facts before then, but what changed was that they then became cooperating witnesses.
Here's what happened.
Why they became
they knew. The cops knew what was going on.
Sure they did.
Immediately. They knew right away. We know what this is. We know what this is supposed to look like, and we know what this actually looks like. We know what's going on. They started building evidence right away. Once they had those the brothers in custody, they were like, "Okay, good. We got witnesses now." And they built this case, and they waited until they knew what had happened, so they could confront these guys and say, "Look, we already know."
I would love to see. I saw parts of the Jussie Smollett interview on GMA. I would love to have some kind of these things juxtaposed, where he's saying something and the police chief is saying, just correcting everything that Jussie Smollett claimed.
Right.
I know it was them. Yeah, do you?
Do you? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Because
I swear to God, I didn't fake this.
Oh, okay. God. You brought the Lord into this, Jussie Smollett. The Lord.
Yeah, he's a fool.
He's a bit of a boob, as it turns out.
Oh, boy, is he caught.
Oh, he is. He's in Dutch, I think.
This is almost like if you catch somebody cheating, and you know they've cheated, but they don't know you know. So that's where you were Tuesday? And you didn't talk to him? No. I let them just keep digging and digging and digging, knowing that you're like, oh, you fuck. I got you.
I went to a movie with Troy. I was hanging out with Troy.
You fuck.
Yeah. Keep going. Keep
What'd you
digging.
see? You fuck.
We saw the new. I don't even remember what we saw.
The Star is Born. Did you like it?
Yeah, it was good.
Fuck.
The song, it was good.
When you got somebody dead to rights, it's a great feeling. It can be a shit feeling, but it's also satisfying.
That's the one satisfaction you get. It's a shit feeling, but the one satisfaction you get is how long can I get them to lie to me?
By the way, I've also been on the other end of that.
Do you lie?
Yep. One girl I dated was so smart. I bought condoms, but believe me, I don't play games with those. And she, I guess, found them and counted them.
Oh, no.
And realized one or two was missing. And then I tried to lie. I go, no, I've had them. And she goes, I went and looked at the date. She went to the pharmacy. She had the date on the back to see when they were. She went to the pharmacy to back check something about when the other condoms, the dates were, so I couldn't say I bought it.
So if the expiration date on your condoms was close to the one in the stores, that means that you bought them recently.
I forget exactly, because it's been years. I forget exactly why, but it was something to do with the date on the condoms or on the box where I was ruined.
When she said that to you, do you go oh my God, you're coming at me with science right now. I can't.
Nothing to say.
Well, and then you get disingenuous. You get shitty about it. She's like, "Well, here's the evidence. I caught you, and you've been lying to me this whole time." And then you go, well, "What do you want me to say?"
I'm not lying to you. I told you I have a hard time with condoms, so I put one on my dick to try to masturbate with it to see if I could keep an erection in a condom.
It's obvious.
That was my argument.
Oh my God.
I mean,
That's terrible.
It's literally like getting caught in the bank with a bag of money and a gun. What are you doing? I found these things. I was turning them into the police.
Yeah, this isn't even
mine. You have to say what you got to say.
Actually, it's funny, officer. This isn't even mine. I totally get how this looks.
I found
and
them.
You're doing a great job.
Yeah.
But this stuff isn't actually.
Here's the gun and the money. I'm going to go home and feel free to get a hold of me.
Right.
I was busted.
I'd like to, first of all, you're holding the gun and the money. First of all, officer, I'd love to cooperate. I just found these items.
Yeah, please, take these.
You're doing a great job.
Let's find someone who took these things.
Yeah, me, you, and Charlie. We're going to figure out who did this.
I was so busted. You're just desperate at that point. Granted, not the most believable argument, but it was one other option to go, you're right.
Yeah. Let's hear some more from this great cop.
7th hour that they decided to do that?
Well, we worked very closely with their lawyer, and their lawyer went in there and talked to him, and whatever she said to him apparently got through to him to just tell the truth about what happened, and that's what they decided to do.
Even though that you all were saying early on that there was no reason not to believe his story, there were a lot of red flags that a lot of people saw, and you all had questions, even though you weren't, of course, going to be public.
I love how everybody sees the red flags now. Everybody's acting like we all knew from the beginning.
Sure.
You did not.
Or you ignored them on purpose.
Yes.
The press ignored them because they wanted the story to be true because it made Trump look bad.
Right. The story being true is better for the agenda than the story being not true.
How about saying that? There were red flags that we all purposefully ignored because we liked the idea that MAGA was being made to look bad, and this was kind of a juicy story.
Yeah. There were red flags that we all in the impartial news media really hoped were not real.
Yeah, we totally ignored the red flags, hoping that the overall story that Trump is a piece of shit would somehow shine through. Fucking assholes.
Questions, but there's always questions when people are describing incidents to us, but we have to maintain the integrity of the investigation, and that's what we did. We didn't have the facts to support him being involved in it until that 47th
This guy knew, and this is why he's a good police chief. He didn't get panicky when everybody was asking, "What are you doing?" Nothing. Still victim. Boy, he knew. He's a good police. That's why he's police chief, because he knows keep your fucking mouth shut, let it unfold,
yes,
and then hit him with it. 47th hour. Let these shitbirds sit there for 47th hour. Then we'll hit him with this.
Yeah, I mean, he could have at 36 been like, fuck, we got to just say that we know, but nope. Because he's not going on what I know as a cop. He's sitting there and he's using his words right. He's talking about facts. He's talking about evidence.
Yep.
He's talking about science. He's talking about witnesses.
Doing real police work, getting everything lined up. So when you go, no, but I goes, no, we covered that. Here's what you did.
Because what he doesn't want to be the girl that goes, I know you're cheating. I know you are. He wants to be the girl that goes, how come the condom dates match?
What? when you hear, I went to the fucking pharmacy. Let me tell you inside what you do. You die. I died inside. Oh, she was good.
Yeah.
She was good.
Yeah.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And it's important for people to recognize that it's not the Chicago police saying he did something. It's the evidence, the facts, and the witnesses that are saying this. So our job is to investigate it and bring the facts and the evidence to the state.
So the brothers have stated that?
Correct.
Nope.
The check that we saw in Eva Pilgrim's report, the $3,500, did the brothers specifically say that was for the attack?
They said that he paid them $3,500 with a check to.
But did they say what it was for?
Yeah, to carry out this incident.
Your press conference, sir, was so passionate, and it seemed quite personal, the words that you were talking about being angry and offended, and you often referred to the noose, and that was a real breaking point for you.
Yeah, Robin, I grew up in the tail end of the civil rights era, and I lived in Cabrini Green Housing Project.
The last thing you want is for the chief of police to have a personal connection to this case now.
He's from the worst housing projects in Chicago.
Yeah.
He's a tough fucking guy.
Yeah.
And he became a cop.
Yeah. The number one cop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he again, I keep saying he's a no bullshit individual.
Later on in this interview, and that's when you know that Jussie Smollett is watching going, oh no. Robin Roberts goes to the officer and she goes, oh, you know what? Let me just play you the clip right here so we don't have to fish around for it.
It's an ongoing investigation?
Correct.
So where does it stand as of this morning?
So right now, as I said, he still has the presumption of innocence, and he'll get his opportunity in court if he chooses to go that route. And again, you know, I was very acutely aware of the situation in terms of the Chicago Police Department declaring he was a suspect. But I can tell you this, Rob, there's a lot more evidence that hasn't been presented yet that does not support the version that he gave.
There's more because you presented quite a bit. I mean, legal experts said that's the most that they've seen being presented up front like that.
But there's still a lot of physical evidence, video evidence, and testimony that just.
By the way, what he's doing there, the reason he's putting all this out there, he's fighting for he's defending the reputation of the Chicago Police Department in Chicago in the public view. He's saying, this would all work out in court, but while the story is hot, we're not letting this go away. This is what this piece of shit did. He wants everyone to know, to change the narrative. This is what this guy did.
We're not letting him get away with anything.
We're not being typical cops and going, it'll handle itself in court, because they don't give a fuck. It'll work itself out. This is a massive case, and he was really pissed off, and he's burning him publicly because he doesn't want Chicago to look like shit.
And he's probably really hoping that Jussie Smollett just smartens up and confesses to it.
He absolutely will.
And that's why he's talking about the more evidence that they have. Because if you're Jussie Smollett, right, and you go, well, I know what you guys have. I can explain the check. I can explain this. When he goes on television and goes, oh, yeah, that's the tip of the iceberg. There's a whole bunch more physical and video and witness evidence to go. If you're Jussie Smollett, you're going, oh, no, no. What else could there be?
What else could you? I want to see this thing where he describes growing up in the tail end, because this is what made it personal for him.
Oh, yeah.
When I was a kid, and that could easily be characterized as one of the most notorious housing projects in the country. And the symbolism of a noose is very offensive. The city of Chicago has its issues. The Chicago Police Department has its issues with racism and excessive force and all of that. And I'm acutely aware of that. But we didn't earn this particular incident. And I just refuse to let us have to take that shot if I have evidence to the contrary. So I just want people to understand that's a damaging thing to do to a city and to a police department. You know, so it's my responsibility to ensure.
When the chief of police thinks you've embarrassed the police department and has evidence to fuck you, that's a bad spot.
So now he's going after.
I'm taking a personal interest in seeing him suffer.
so now he's going after him because the news offended him on a personal level, and wasting the police's time and making Chicago look bad offends him on a professional level. He just couldn't have fucked himself worse.
Do we have any of the of Jussie's GMA interview?
Oh, from back?
Yeah, just
the original interview.
A clip moment of it here and there. Just something.
I'm sure if you just YouTube it, you just find it. Just look in the YouTube search, because it went everywhere.
You think this is going to be a real boost for this Chicago Chiefs career?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
He'll be on TV for the rest of his life now.
What does he
wants.
do after this? I mean, what's the chief of police? He's probably, I'm going to guess he's 64, 65.
He can write a book. He can be a contributor on a news channel. I mean, he can and get his police retirement money.
But does he go to a higher, what do you run for after chief of police?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to be a politician, you could. Whatever you want to do.
Right, yeah.
Chicago's going to love him.
Yeah, I mean, he really looks good in this.
And they're saying that...
or maybe he just wants to be the chief of police. What's the next highest rank over police chief?
He's superintendent, too. Or whatever that is.
Is it the same thing?
He's 60, by the way.
Oh, he's 60,
So he's probably going to retire soon.
Yeah, but maybe do something federal?
He could, absolutely.
Yeah.
And they're saying that Terrence Howard flipped out on Jussie Smollett on the set of Empire. Even though he posted that thing on Instagram,
sure.
I was reading a thing on TMZ yesterday that Terrence Howard would not come out of his trailer, that he flipped the fuck out on Jussie, that he lost his mind on the set of this show, and that's one of the reasons why they were like, you know what, Jussie, go home. Go the fuck home. You're not on the show right now.
Yeah, because he probably guaranteed to all them. It was like if something happened with me and I took you guys aside, like, hey guys, I didn't do it, and all of a sudden you're like, you lied. Like he probably lied to them personally and used his friendship to go like, look, don't believe it. You know me.
I know this looks bad and this looks blah blah blah, but you know me. You know I wouldn't do this.
Happens every day.
With Jim?
Yeah.
Yeah. When he goes like this. I didn't fart.
Yeah, he makes a little toot, and then he says,
but
guys.
I didn't. You know how many times that Sam has farted and I've allowed it to be blamed on me?
The answer is 0, nil.
It's not the answer I was thinking of.
Sorry, I just work in facts.
Okay.
Jussie Smollett should not have broken his silence.
No, he should not.
He should not have.
Not at all.
Because this interview is historically... it only happened like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Doesn't age well.
No, it does not.
It does not age well.
You jump into it a little bit. I just want to hear the passion that this asshole has.
You're right.
Yep. And then we got back to the apartment. There was no food. And so I went out to Walgreens thinking that they were 24 hours and to have a smoke. Walgreens was closed.
Shoot.
So I called him up and I said, hey, I'm going to run to Subway, which was across the street.
See, we got here as a thing of show and tell. Show me everything, but you're not telling me nothing. Went to Walgreens. They have great policy on return. Shut up.
Right. Maybe I can distract him with a conversation about Walgreens.
I have my Super Saver card. Usually, he's trying to be charming. I went for a smoke,
Just hoping Robin Roberts goes like, oh, yeah, they got good deals on beverages at Walgreens. Oh, yeah, I love going to Walgreens. Maybe we can just move off this topic entirely.
I'm going to get a salad. Do you want anything? I went to the Subway and got
Subway
the
even
order.
sells salads?
During that time, I texted my manager thinking that he was still in Australia because he was on an Australian tour with one of his other
pointless information.
I say, yo, call me when you can. He called me immediately. And while he was on the phone, I heard, as I was crossing the intersection, I heard Empire. And I don't answer to Empire. My name ain't Empire.
Oh, Jussie.
Did you answer the next thing?
Yeah. Oh, he must be talking about me.
I kept walking, and then I heard Empire. So I turned around and I said, did you just say to me? And I see the attacker masked, and he said, this MAGA country punches me right in the face. So I punched his ass back.
Oh, cool,
and then,
Jussie.
We started tussling. It was very icy, and we ended up
So he
tussling
did say
by the
MAGA. He had denied at one point that he said MAGA, but he did say it.
He 100% said it.
Yeah, but he denied saying it.
He just said it to Robin Roberts.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
He shouldn't have done this interview.
At one point, he goes, I didn't say that.
He didn't say it, and then he did say it.
He's an actor, too. That's why he can tell a story, because it's what he does for a living.
Of course, but he's not that good of an actor because he's talking about Walgreens for 25 minutes.
No, he's not a good writer. He's not a good writer.
You're right,
He's
Jim.
a good actor.
He's delivering it properly.
He's not a good editor.
No, he's not. He's not. That's why, you know what? That's why the Academy Awards put all those awards on TV. They really are valuable after all this.
Stairs. Fighting. There was a second person involved who was kicking me in my back. And
I liked it in the story. Like, Jussie wanted the sympathy, but he didn't want to seem like a wimp.
Pussy, right, yeah.
Like, he had to get some offense in, too.
I hit his ass back.
In his made-up fight, he had to get some offense in.
Just swing your Walgreens bag at him, madam. Fuck up.
Yeah. So I swung my Walgreens bag at him. Didn't you just say Walgreens was closed?
I had a bag I brought from home.
It was my Walgreens bag from home. Didn't you say you were staying in a hotel?
I was carried.
No, I call my hotel home.
My laundry bag.
When I'm on so I travel in a Walgreens bag.
Yeah. It's my suitcase. It's got a Walgreens
my suitcase,
logo.
Yeah. Stopped. And they ran off. And I saw where they ran. And the phone was in my pocket, but it had fallen out. It was sitting there. And my manager was still on the phone.
Because that's one thing that always happens. When people jump you, they never take your phone.
Absolutely. Even if it falls out and the manager hears everything.
Right.
So he was on the phone with his manager.
You think his manager was sitting there going like, oh, why the fuck would you drag me into this, Jussie?
These two people attack him.
Yeah.
He puts his phone in his pocket while he's still on the phone with his manager.
Yeah, because he had the thought
to
place his phone in his pocket. It
Then
didn't
the
fall
phone
out of his
falls
hand.
out.
It was in his
How did it
pocket.
fall out of your pocket?
Just bad decision after bad decision.
Well, yeah, why would you put your phone in your...
Exactly.
If you remember to put your phone in your
Well, it might
pocket...
have been a jacket pocket.
No, but if you remember to put your phone in your pocket, you remember to hang up the phone. You don't just go, oh, I'm being attacked. Let me put my phone in my pocket. Oh, I didn't hang it up? Because he said it was on the hook the whole time. It's never happened to anybody.
I'm trying to cooperate.
Where's the noose part here?
Well, I'm trying. Do you want me to go count the cars now? Do you want me to count? Fine, I'll count them now. Suspect is fleeing the scene. Suspect is fleeing the scene.
Oh, and he runs out.
Yeah. I'll count them now then.
Drives away calmly.
He's talking to his manager, Jussie. We got to turn ourselves in. What? No, this is my deal, Wade. This is my deal. I brought you the deal.
All right, so here he's describing the masks.
Yeah, this is good stuff.
But I didn't see. I can't tell you what color their eyes were.
Go back a little.
Tell you, and I didn't. And I said,
They had
was
eye
just
masks
jumped.
on.
And then I look down and I see that there's a rope around my neck, which I hadn't.
You hadn't noticed it before?
No,
You didn't
because
see?
it was so fast. You know what I'm saying? It was so fast.
How long did this all?
It felt like minutes, but it probably was like 30 seconds. Honestly, I can't tell you honestly.
You can say that again.
Yeah, you can't. Of course you can't tell her honestly.
That's the most truthful thing you said.
How long did this last? If I were speaking honestly, 0 minutes.
I can't tell you honestly.
Yeah, I can't.
So I will lie.
Yeah. If I were to tell you honestly, you would realize this entire interview is a waste of time.
Isn't that? I wonder if that's a weird psychological tattling on yourself.
Like he's trying to get out of it.
Or you're confessing. Because people
Right,
do
that's what I
weird
mean.
shit. I mean, people do weird shit when they commit a crime. OJ, people do weird things that tell you. Go back and hear that again. I cannot tell you honestly.
You mean like when OJ was forgetting his pronouns?
Yes.
When he was talking
yeah.
in the "if I did it" thing, he was like, "Well, I would have," and then halfway through, it's like, "So then it's no longer Charlie." So then I went up and I stabbed him, and they're like, "You mean Charlie?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure."
Kind of like that, but I mean like a wordplay thing in your own mind that is you
subconsciously.
Just, yeah, like you're confessing. And again, maybe OJ was too, but there's something like I cannot tell you honestly, like something an FBI profile would spot and go, listen to what he just said.
So I went to Walgreens and I said, "You got to see what's going on over here."
Over here.
The phone. So I picked up the phone and I said, "Brandon," and he's like, "What's going on?" And I said, "I was just jumped." And then I look down and I see that there's a rope around my neck, which I hadn't.
You hadn't noticed it before?
No,
You didn't
because
see?
it was so fast. You know what I'm saying? It was so fast.
How long did this all?
It felt like minutes, but it probably was like 30 seconds. Honestly, I can't tell you honestly.
Because he said honestly, and then he said, "I can't tell you honestly." So maybe there's something about saying honestly where his somewhere in the back of his brain, he was like, you're not being honest. And he goes, "I can't tell you honestly." Maybe. You're going pretty deep into psychology, but I totally get what you're saying.
I the mind does that all the time. I don't like they can tell by which way you look if you're remembering or if you're creating, like where your eyes go.
Yep.
Look, you look one way, you're creating something. You look another way, you're looking for a memory. It's really weird.
Totally.
But that's not almost very obvious. I can't tell you honestly.
Yeah.
Like it's all this underlying stuff. Like they that's what those pickup artists say to do to women.
Right.
Like you're saying certain things, you're giving each other messages, and a lot of times those words work. Like if you look at someone, if you're talking and you go, and this guy looks at me and he goes, "Fuck you," and like you look in the eye, like you're saying, "Fuck, I want to fuck you," like all this weird shit.
Totally. Now that's there. Now, like that thing, I just put it out and it's there.
Underneath the door. Because I didn't say it, and you didn't hear me say it, but it's there.
It's there.
Yeah.
I noticed the rope around my neck and I started screaming. And I said, "There's a rope around my neck."
Did you get any kind of description of the attack?
I gave a body description and because I saw this, right here or whatever, but I didn't see, I can't tell you what color their eyes were. I can't tell you. And I did not see anything except the second person I saw running away. And the first person,
He pointed to the bridge of his nose.
Yeah.
So I think that's his way of saying, "I know they were white."
But he's not saying that.
He didn't say that just there.
I think he's almost trying to avoid saying that. Like he doesn't want to because I think this is spinning out of control for him at this point. He's trying to do damage control and he's just trying to keep it as minimal as possible.
He's worried that right around the corner, she's about to say, "I went to the pharmacy."
Yeah.
You know how when you're in one of those things and you just want the argument to end because you know if they have the right piece of evidence, it's all going to come crashing down?
By the way, this might be after the video of those two guys came out. I don't remember.
I think it is.
But he might know that there's the possible video evidence of them being black. So
It is, but they have masks. But you can't tell when the first video came out. You can't
but he's
tell
still
that they're
knowing
black.
that video is out there and that the two guys are somehow visible. He might not want to say white again for that reason.
Like it was way later that photo of them in the store came out.
Right. Oh, yeah.
They don't look white in that photo.
No.
Saw his stature. I gave the description as best as I could. You have to understand also that it's Chicago in winter. People can wear ski masks and nobody's going to question that.
the police have gone through a lot of video, and they were able to capture an image of two people of interest. Have you seen that image, and do you believe that they could possibly be the attackers?
I do.
What is it about their size, or why do you feel that they could possibly be?
Because I was there. For me, when that was released, I was like, okay, we're getting somewhere. I don't have any doubt in my mind that that's them.
Okay, see, like that was a huge mistake because that photo is the Nigerian brothers who were in jail.
The police had already identified them,
and the police identified them, and then they're the ones that said, like, "Yeah, he paid us $3,500 to fake the whole thing."
Well, they weren't in jail at this point, though, were they? I think that when he said it was definitely them, I don't know if they were in jail at this point.
No,
this
but they had identified. The
cops knew who they were.
Yeah.
You can't. What do you think? You're going to commit the perfect crime?
Which is why they said he did such a huge favor by
not to himself.
No. By identifying.
Did he make his case stronger here?
No.
He fucked up.
We should take a break.
Yeah, we should,
because I don't want to keep our novelist waiting.
Oh God, no. Yeah, apologies to him.
Yeah, he's kind of a big deal author.
Yep.